These days, everybody has a disorder. It's like a party. It's like a grab bag. Like autism, Asperger's, ADD, bipolar, borderline personality. It's fun for everyone. You just spin the wheel and you choose one out of a hat. Like the other day, someone was saying like, "Oh, I'm so ADD and I am so not bipolar, but I've been diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenic, and I don't know where this came from." And I just hear this crap all the time. It's like a freaking party. Like everybody has a disorder. It feels like all these labels and terms. Um, I find for a lot of people it doesn't help them, but then for a lot of people it does help them. Like some people feel like learning that I had ADD really helped me, and now I know that this is why I haven't been able to connect with people or get work done. Um, Personally, I find the whole system is kind of twisted. It's like saying that like I have wings and that's a problem because I can't fit through doors. Well, yes, but it grants me access to other places. Kind of like Einstein said, you or all our problems come from getting mad at fish because they're not able to climb trees or something like that. Uh, it's just kind of bizarre. Like personally, I feel like believing you have some type of mental disorder, whether whichever one you grab out of the party bag, like it it feels like some archaic mythology, and I can't believe I'm still talking about this like 20 years later. Like like it feels like a dead horse. Like it's just it should be dead, but it's quite alive. It's quite undead. So it needs to be addressed. Like countless people are still being medicated and having their lives ruined over like just fictional problems that some doctor has made up to make money, and it's like dirty money. like like people are too attached to their jobs and their dirty money. Like I'm talking about people like who've been adults for a long time and have kind of profited from this system, and all these good people with their smiles and their happiness are getting happy off a kind of luxurious life that comes from making money off telling other people they have problems, and creating therapy for them, and creating um, all this stuff for them. And there are lots of good people mixed in the bag, and it's a very sticky and complicated thing. But I'm talking about like the authorities, like people who really have power over to like psychologists who can just diagnose just thousands of people with this made up bullshit. Like there are lots of real problems out there. Like I can be anorexic and really just starving myself, but then there's just made up stuff where it's like some kid like is bored in class, and they said like I'm really bored, and then like a doctor says you have ADD, you have ADHD because you stood up when you said that, because you got so angry it caused you to stand up, and it's frustrating. Like it's the whole value system of our schools that's messed up. That's teaching kids they need to sit still for hours and hours and not have recess very long and not have fun very long and not value each other in relationship to each other. Uh, it's all about how smart you are and how productive you are and how you can get an A and an A plus and go to extra credit and and score high in your SATs, and it doesn't value what we should value. So it's like I have ADD because I can't, and I'm speaking hypothetically, but they could just pull that one out next for all I know, on me. I have ADD because I can't pay attention to a bag of trash. Like it's like, no, you shouldn't want to pay attention to a bag of trash. Like, you should, if you're listening to something really boring for uh, like year after year, it shouldn't even have to go that far. You should. Most people I talk to don't remember what they've learned in high school, uh, and I went to college, but I still find the whole schooling system to be a kind of mixed bag, and like just a lot of really basic stuff, like how to feel happy, how to feel happiness was like stuff I had to kind of teach myself, like through just tons of pain and wrong advice or just wrong ideas. Um, like we've really taken a step backwards as a culture by teaching people the brain is inherently messed up and you have to take drugs. I mean, the first line of that sentence is already catastrophic. I was lucky to avoid drugs most of my life, but I still suffered under the hands of the bullshit. Just believing something was wrong with me and kind of knowing it wasn't true, but it took until very recently that I kind of confirmed that it wasn't true, just by the agony of believing something was wrong. Um, it was kind of the pain taught me, but no one should have to suffer so much before they believe something that they already kind of knew was true. Which is, I had problems like relaxing around people, but that's very easy to explain as kind of primitive fears that never really got worked out, and mixed in with some injuries like Lyme disease, which are very real. There are physical problems like chronic pain that can really affect who you are, and it's not all psychological and in your brain. Even the fear I felt was mostly in my chest, and it was a response to not understanding the kind of energy people produce and how healing and important that is to heal my physical problems. So it feels like, but our society is still in in its own true autism, its autistic dimension of all these autistic doctors are projecting their illness onto people and teaching them they're kind of permanently messed up. I was talking to someone the other day who was like, neuroplasticity, like that sounds interesting. So you're saying my brain can heal or it can change like every day, and like it was kind of mind blowing to her. And I feel like she spent every day it was so beautiful, but she would just look at the ground every day and talk about like how she wasn't getting along with her family and how like she was a bad person, but it's sort of the opposite. Like, you are the good person and your family's teaching you that you're bad, or at least society is teaching you, and your family is kind of accepting it because they want to help, and they think they're doing the right thing because a lot of like grinning doctors told them it was the right thing. But there's dirty money. It's like something from Game of Thrones or something. Like doctors are very content and they're very happy, and they're happy for a good reason, because they're making money and they're surviving, and they don't have problems as they don't have a mental diagnosis that they're taking pills for or whatever it is. And so they seem like great people because they're always smiling and compassionate, but meanwhile, like, they've diagnosed thousands of people and more with like these very iffy kind of like hypothetical like surface oriented descriptions that are permanent for some reason, or like describe a mood you had one day, and then people are we're all ignorant children. We're born into the world like learning we have a problem, and we just kind of accept it. And we said, well, I do have trouble connecting with people, so it must be something is wrong. Something's not synaptically hooking up in my brain. And that's really sad. It's sad to believe something isn't synaptically hooking up in your brain when really it might just be a matter of not having emotionally relaxed enough around people, or felt not emotionally having felt happiness around people. That's what it is, like just feeling happy around people. Like there's no shame in taking time to learn the simple things in life, and instead of teaching ourselves that there's some intricate complex disease in our brain, just take time to practice the simple act of feeling happy around people, and not feeling like you have to impress them or please them or prove that I don't have a disorder all the time. Just forget that that even exists, and that it doesn't matter if 10,000 doctors say you have a disorder, because they're all being paid by the same dirty money, and it's really it's herd mentality. It's lemmings like walking off a cliff while they drink Kool-Aid, like they're drunk on ignorance. And like, how much do we have to suffer? Like, how many suicides and deaths have to pile up before we realize that the doctors are killing them? I'm sorry.